Hi there and welcome to another video. My name is Laura. This channel isn't about winning more ribbons at your next horse show. This channel is about raising your standards and developing that relationship with your horse so that if you do decide to go to a horse show, you've got that relationship and that foundation so that you can win more ribbons at your next horse show. Today's video we're going to do a position review, and I want to thank Anne Riley Cotton for sending in these videos and these pictures of her riding. Looks like she's at a horse show. She looks great, and we're going to do a position review. And remember to stay to the end because we've got some really good exercises that you can do in your next ride to improve your riding. So let's get started. When you go to a hunter horse show, you have to remember that the judging starts as soon as you enter that ring. So all that stuff that happens before you even get to the first jump is like an appetizer for the judge. It's how the judge forms an opinion about you. So as soon as you enter that ring, you are being judged. So make sure that whatever it is that you're doing, picking up the correct lead, getting on the correct diagonal, shortening your reins, looking down, all those things are part of your performance. A little different than the jumper ring when your performance starts as soon as you go through the start gate. Let's go and start looking at this position and see what we can find out. And remember, stay to the end. I've got some really good exercises that you can do to help improve your position in your next training session, in your next riding session. So first off, right off the bat, you can see it looks like she's in a horse show situation, right? So we can see that she's got her breeches on, she's got boots on, you can see that she's got a jacket and her rat catcher helmet. The horse is nicely turned out, it's got some nice braids in there, and the horse's coat is really shiny, so it looks like she's at a horse show. Great. So all those things, even before she gets to the first jump, is going to be something that the judge will notice. If you'd like to have your own position review done, please send me an email, thistleridge@hotmail.com. Include a couple of photographs and I will do a position review for you. Number one, eyes are up. So you can see that her eyes are up in this photograph. Her eyes are up looking forward. Maybe she's looking to the next jump. Maybe she's got a spot at the end of the arena that she is looking towards. Because she has her eyes up, look at how flat and lovely her back is. Sometimes you see riders with their shoulders are rounded. So if you have rounded shoulders, one of the first things that you can do to help prevent that from happening is keep your eyes up, keep your chin up, and that'll help keep your back flat. That's another thing that the judge does notice when you get into the ring. One way they tell if your eyes are up is by the peak of your helmet. The peak of your helmet should be parallel to the ground, and if you look at this picture you can see that the peak of her helmet is parallel to the ground and her back is flat. If her shoulders were rounded forward, that probably wouldn't be happening. Really nice picture. Love the way her back is flat. Here's a good picture of her heels. Heels down. How many times have you heard your instructor, coach, trainer say to you, keep your heels down? So you can see here that this rider, her feet are flat, and we would like to see your heels down more. So what I've done is put a red line there where you can see that her feet are flat, stirrups on the correct part of her foot, but her heel should be lower than her toe, and you can see that it's not here in this picture. I put a green line where I thought that the heel should be down a bit more. One thing I do like about this picture is that you can see the stirrup leather is perpendicular to the ground, which is really good. Also remember that we are seeing these in a still photograph. And when you're at a horse show, the horse is moving, the rider's moving, and you get to see the horse and rider over top of a fence 8 times only. And it's a quick snapshot, and these are still photographs so we can really analyze them and what's happening as the rider is going over this fence. So here's one reason why I think that the rider's heels are not down. Is that because, and that's because she is pinching with her knees and she's pivoting on her knees. Looks to me like she's pivoting forward with her upper body, and when that happens, the rider's legs move backwards. So it's kind of like this, If I hold this in the middle, the rider's upper body goes forward. What happens to the rider's legs? They go backwards. Same with this. If this is the rider's knees and the rider's body goes forward, what happens to the rider's legs? They go backward. And I think that's a simplified version of what's really happening here. The rider's pinching with her knees, her upper body's way too far forward, and her lower leg is swung back. This rider needs to relax her knees to get the weight down into her heel, which will help get the heels down and also stop her from pinching with her knees. And I've got some exercises. Stay to the end. We've got some exercises for you to do so that you don't pinch with your knees, or if you do pinch with your knees, to stop pinching with your knees. And again, because she's pinching with her knees, you can see that her seat is over top of the pommel, or the front of the saddle where the red arrow is, and we like to see her seat over the seat of the saddle, or where the green arrow is. And to do that, she's got to bring her seat closer to the back of the saddle, closer to the cantle of the saddle, and closer to the saddle, not standing up in the stirrup so much and getting ahead of the horse, but rather squatting more in the saddle with her seat closer to the saddle. To keep in balance while you're over top of the fence, have in your mind's eye, a straight line, shoulder, knee, toe. This straight line, shoulder, knee, toe should be almost perpendicular to the ground. So if you took that horse out from underneath you, you would land in balance on your own feet. You can see it's shown here in a red line. We've got a shoulder, knee, toe straight line, but it's in front of the vertical. So if we took that horse away from underneath that rider, the rider would fall onto their toes, knees, and shoulders. The rider would fall forward. We would like to see this rider bring the shoulders back by bringing their seat more towards the center of the saddle, so she's more in balance with the horse. Right now, it looks like she's out in front of the movement of the horse. I love this. This rider has black gloves on, and it's a really interesting thing. If you wear black gloves, it kind of hides your hands a little bit. Love the way this rider has her hands pushed on the neck, giving a nice release for the horse, but they're a little bit too far up the horse's neck. And again, this is because the rider is pivoting on her knees, standing up in the stirrups, pivoting on her knees, and too far ahead of the horse. We'd like for her shoulders to be back more and her hands closer to the withers, and I put a green arrow here where her hands should be, and if she did bring her shoulders back, it would help keep her hands in the correct position. But we really like that there is a lovely release. She's not interfering with the horse, it's just that her hands are too far up the neck. So here's some great exercises that you can do to help improve your riding position. The big one I see with this rider is that she's pinching with her knees, and one really good exercise that you can do to help prevent pinching with your knees is riding without stirrups. Riding without stirrups is the number one exercise that you can do to improve your riding. It doesn't have to be a long time. It can be 10 minutes, 15 minutes at the beginning of your ride, beginning of your training ride, or during your riding lesson. Very easy to do. There's a link in the description to a book that I have on Amazon. It's exercises to improve your riding. Really good exercises that you can do. Another really good exercise you can do to prevent you from pinching with your knees is to ride in two-point position, but not just any two-point position. You do the exercise that I call up, up, down. So you do 2-point for 2 steps, down for 1 step. Stand in 2-point for 2 steps, down for 1 step. Up, up, down, up, up, down, up, up, down. Really simple to do, really simple, but you have to think about it, and you have to teach yourself to feel the horse and understand what it is that the horse is doing. Very difficult to do if you can't feel your horse underneath you. Stand in your stirrups for 2 beats, down for 1 beat. And then likewise, the other exercise is down, down, up. Sit in the saddle for 2 beats, do 2-point for 1 beat. Down, down, up. Staying on the 2-point routine, excellent exercise to do in your 2-point is trotting over trot rails. Really good exercise to do. My name is Lauren. If you'd like to have your own position review done, please send me an email. thistleridge@hotmail.com. Include a couple of photographs and I will do a position review for you. Now go hug your horse. Go use this stuff. Raise your standards. Go do this stuff. Go hug your horse. Thanks now. Bye.